So today we're gonna do my skincare regimen. Now listen, I am so tired of seeing people do all this unnecessary stuff for their skin. And I just wanna do this video so I can show, especially Black women, what works and what does not work when you have oily skin. I have gone to the dermatologist. I've been going to a dermatologist for about 4 years. And nothing he has told me involves any of this foolishness that I see on social media. It's all a gimmick to get you to buy stuff, get you to use these products and stuff like that. You know, a lot of these people probably have sponsorships with these people and all that stuff. So listen, I'm gonna give it to you straight and raw, what works and what doesn't work. So first, I'm gonna give you background on why I had to start seeing a dermatologist. So right now, my skin looks very smooth, very clear. But I had fibroids, and for years I've had them. Well, it came a point when I was having really bad issues with fibroids, bleeding issues, and I got an IUD to help control the bleeding. Well, after I had the IUD for about I say 6 months to a year, I began to have really bad acne. So the acne was called cystic acne. So it would be like knots. It would never really form, excuse me, a whitehead or blackhead or anything like that. But I would get these big knots all over my face, especially here on the cheeks and on my chin. So usually when you have any kind of problem with the reproductive system, it shows up on your chin. That's where all of those issues, they link to that. And so my doctor told me, he was like, you know, well, I got the IUD removed because it started giving me trouble about after probably 2-3 years after I had it in. So I got it taken out. So anyway, but after I had it taken out, my skin still wasn't clearing up. So the dermatologist, I was seeing I'm not trying to be funny, but I was seeing a white lady at first. And when I was seeing her, she was telling me to do certain stuff and it just wasn't working. And I started seeing a Black dermatologist because I also had scarring alopecia on my scalp. And what she was telling me and the medicine she gave me was like a liquid to put on my scalp. It was not doing anything. So I switched jobs and I started working somewhere else for the government. And I met this Black dermatologist. And he told me simple thing to clear up the scarring alopecia. So let's talk about that first. Scarring alopecia. To get yourself together on that, all you need to do is, because Black women, we are taught, you know, wash your hair, you know, maybe, you know, once or twice a week. Some people don't wash their hair but once a month. I was a person, I had really bad dandruff. So they were telling me at another doctor, I was washing my hair too much, but that's why my scalp was so dry. So I had not been washing my hair that much because I was trying not to have, because I was having the scarring, the flaking and things like that. So all wrong, all wrong, all wrong, all wrong. Okay. So the Black dermatologist told me the problem was, you know, back in the day, I used to wear a relaxer. I'm natural now, but way back when, I had a relaxer and I wore it for years. And that coupled with using hot combs and flat irons and all that stuff, it eventually will damage your hair. And for some people, you know, once that starts to happen, it starts to create certain alopecias. And I got scarring alopecia. Well, when I got the bad flaking and the dandruff and all that stuff, that was the first sign. Because I would get these little bumps on my scalp and they would open and it would be pussy and it would bleed and it would just be sore for days. And then another one would come, I would scratch and boom, same. It would just be a cycle of just terror. So he told me to, first of all, wash my hair at least once or twice a week. Yeah, once or twice a week. Not a month, not every 2 weeks, a week. So, because he was like, you know, he was like, Black women, you know, we go to the beauty shop and we do all this stuff, you know, maybe every couple of weeks and stuff like that. And if we got our hair in a style, we don't wash our hair at home. You know, a lot of people, not everybody. He was like, but if you think about Black men, why their hair looks so good most of the time is because they wash their hair every time they get in the shower. So they don't, and they don't get that bad stuff a lot of the times, because you know, women look at their brother and like, well, how you got all the good hair? Because they wash their hair every time they get in the shower. Usually, if they don't have long hair, you know, they have, you know, a nice crop haircut. So he told me to wash it every, you know, once or twice a week. And then he told me when I use grease on my hair, because my hair is very dry, it's very fine, he told me, don't put grease on my scalp, put it on my hair. So whatever product I use, grease, just whatever, like any kind of creams or anything like that, put it on the hair and not the scalp. It will eventually work its way down to the scalp. And that way it gives the, you know, won't clog up the pores in the scalp. He was like, because if you put it directly on the scalp, it has nowhere to go, but just to clog up the scalp. So if you put it on the hair and eventually work its way down to, you know, the pores, you know, by then you're ready to wash your hair again. So it's not your hair's still going to be moisturized, and it's not going to fall out. It's not going to do anything. It's going to be healthy. And when I tell you, I had bald spots, not like slick bald, baby booty bald, but I had spots where, I mean, I had very, very thin hair, and I just didn't understand what was going on. And once I started doing what he told me to do, my hair grew back. Like, I have a lot of hair. Like, y'all can't tell because I got this little thing on my head, because I got a little cap on under here because I went to the store a few minutes ago. But I put my cap on so I could put my hair back so it won't be in the way for this video. But that's one thing to think about when you are doing, like, because people will tell you, oh, do this, do this. First of all, hair is genetics, okay? You know, it's a lot of people out here. There's a lot of people out here who make videos and tell you that to get your hair to look like theirs, you got to do this, this, and this. Everybody don't have the same hair, okay? You know, you can figure out what porosity your hair is, and you can go from there and move on, and that's it. You know, you have to just do trial and error for your own hair, you know, because somebody, mama, maybe have Indian in their family or whatever. It ain't gonna all be the same. Who knows? But anyways, on to the skincare. I know I've been talking for 7 minutes about this. So for my skincare routine, my doctor, he makes a black soap, and he puts some kind of medicine in it. I'm out of it, so I can't show it to you. And he has had it on back order for months. You know, everything is kind of out of whack with COVID, but you know, hopefully we'll get it in soon. I'm on the list to get some. I'm trying to get like 3 bars when he comes. And his soap is $40 a bar. No, $30 a bar. It's very expensive. So as soon as he gets it in, I'm going to be getting some, and I'll show you guys that soap. You can't buy it on Amazon. You can't buy it anywhere else. He makes it himself, and then, you know, did it to a manufacturer and all that stuff. But anyway, so I'm going to show you the things that he has given me over the time. So at first, what we first did was when he looked at my skin looked bad. It was terrible. I had black spots all over my cheeks, my chin. You can kind of see a couple here because I had, I just had a uterine fibroid embolization done. So I'm kind of through my fibroids little ways. They're shrinking. So you know, my hormones kind of off right now. And then I got you can't see it, but I can feel it. I got a little cystic one right here. But you don't mess with it. So first thing he told me, don't squeeze nothing on your face. Don't pick at it. Stop picking. Because that's the first thing we want to do is pick. Don't pick. Because that's where the black spots will come from. Picking, squeezing stuff, pushing on it. Don't do that. So I stopped doing that. Black spots went away. Second thing he did, he put me on he put me on doxycycline. I was on that for probably like 4 months, 5 months, something like that. I was on that for a while. And that was taking the bacteria out of my face, out of my skin. You know, I would wash my face and stuff like that, but it's still, because I have so much, my skin is so oily. Like right now, my nose is very shiny. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just my body. And he put me on the doxycycline for months to help clear up the bacteria and all that stuff that was, you know, it was a raging mess. Then he put me on, I'll put it up here because I can't pronounce it, but he put me on these pills. Get closer so y'all can see. He put me on those. And you just take one of these tablets every day. So I had to take other medication, so I just put it in with my other medication, just take it in the morning. If I forget to take that medication, I take it at night. It don't matter. So then we went through different face medications. So he would tell me to put a thin layer of this stuff. It's called Epiduo. If this is prescribed, you cannot buy this online. You cannot buy it over the counter. It's a prescription. So he gave me Epiduo, and I would put this on my face, a thin layer everywhere that was affected by the acne. And I did that for probably maybe a year. And then, you know, I would go for checkups and stuff, and it started to take the stuff out, take the, you know, the cysts down. But the issue was with the Epiduo was I felt like I was getting, when I would use the Epiduo, I felt like it would make the bumps worse sometimes. So he switched me from the Epiduo to this gel. Over to this. So he put me on this, and then I will put this in. Now, I use this at night. Now, I am very forgetful. I'm like, for real. Not because I'm just a ditz or nothing like that. I'm not a ditz, by the way. But because I'm on a medication. What is that medication called? I'm on a medication for a neuro thing because I had bad migraines. And the side effect of that medication is your cognition is not great. You make you very forgetful. And so I had to write on my tops N or M because I wouldn't remember which one I'm supposed to do. So anyway, he switched me to this at night, and then he gave me Onexin to use in the mornings. So I would wash my face with the black soap, pat dry, not scrub. Because you know, honey, let me tell you, baby, we love black people. No, we love to scrub something, don't we? We love to be, Don't do that. Pat dry, pat it dry, pat. But I am a person who I don't like nothing to be crusty, because I feel like I get crust and flaky skin. So I've been using these for years. These little face loofahs. You can get them at Walmart or wherever, but they're loofahs. Now with these, this is a loofah. So you cannot rub your face really hard. Lightly, just lightly. In all your trouble areas. So I do my chin, around my mouth, my nose, my eyebrows, and my forehead, right up here. That's where I have the most like flaking at, like if my skin gets dry. So I would do that. My dermatologist does not recommend scrubbing any type of abrasion because he was like, well, black people, it tends to make us have dark spots. But for me, it didn't have that effect on me because I do it lightly. I don't do it real hard. But exfoliation for me is key. So anyway, so I do these two medications, night and day, and very thin layer. Not a whole lot of stuff. You don't pump 2 or 3 times. You do one pump. Look, not even a whole pump, really. You just get enough to put on your face. And I'm telling you, my skin cleared up. Now, when I noticed when I was using the black soap, it would make my skin burn. So they told me not to use the black soap every day. Every other day. So you use this black soap today. Tomorrow you use Cetaphil. Now this is the Publix brand of Cetaphil because when I went in there to get it, they didn't have none. And he told me to use for oily skin. They ain't had that either. So I just get what they have. So sometimes I use the one for oily skin. Sometimes I use the regular. This is the original kind. So you just use this. So every other day you switch off from your black soap to your Cetaphil. And you wash that, and I still, like I said, take a loofah sponge. Sometimes I don't need to use the loofah sponge, so maybe I may go 2 days and not use the loofah sponge. It's just kind of how you look at your skin and be like, I feel like I got a little something I could do. Especially if I feel like a little fine bump or something come up, I will take this and kind of, you know, when I have my cleanser on, not dry face, nothing like that, when you have cleanser and water on your face. And then I would use, after that, I would pat dry. Pat, 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 pat. And then I was using Luscious Enzymion, I think that's what you call it, Enzymion moisturizer. It is for oily skin. It's $40 for a little tub. You get a little tub like that, and it's about that big. About that big around. I'm out of it. I haven't had a chance to go to Lush. So I've been using my backup, which is by Walmart, Equate brand. Dual Power Moisturizer. You don't put lotion on your face. That's a lot of time. Ooh, I didn't know that for a long time till I was grown. That you weren't supposed to put lotion on your face. Like, I'm talking about I was grown. And I'm 38. I did not know you were not supposed to use lotion on your face. I thought lotion was for your body. It said body. I mean, I ain't know. So, you learn. But I learned you only use moisturizer. So don't come at me talking about you should have known that. Shut up, because some of y'all don't know it either. Hush. But anyway, so moisturizer. So whatever kind of moisturizer you use, do a little bit. You don't need a lot, but it needs to be a facial moisturizer. It can't be some Nivea. It can't be no cocoa butter. It can't be none of that. If you have oily skin, don't use that. You need to use something very light. This is very light, but it has, to me, it's for dry skin. But I feel like because it's for dry skin, it's adding oil on top of me, because I start getting a little bit of oil, and I'm not supposed to be using this. But that's Enzymion by Lush. It does not. It gives you a matte look all day, pretty much all day. Like, my oil will be like, I'm showing up today. I don't care what you say. So by 4 o'clock, I have to blot, and I have to do something. I have to do something to get the excess, because my T-zone is where I have the most oil, right here. But I will get some on my cheeks. But my nose, as you can see, is very shiny. So I have to blot throughout, you know, whatever. But that's all I use. I use like warm water. And when I'm in the shower, I do it in the shower. I do it in the mornings. I wash my face in the mornings with this. Just, you know, when I'm washing my face, I put a little bit on the towel and just kind of, you know, wipe and then rinse and blots. Pat, 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 blot, 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 blot. That's all I do. So, I mean, you're going to have to go see a dermatologist. You know, looking at social media, looking at these people telling you to put some turmeric and some lemon juice and some honey and all of this natural. Well, it ain't going to work for everybody. Because when you got cystic acne, that stuff is not going to work. And I just wanted to tell you guys so you would know, you know. Because I keep seeing these videos, and I just want people to be informed and get good results. Your doctor may not prescribe these exact medications, but you can tell them what you've seen and ask about something to this effect and this regimen with this medication and things like that. And hopefully they can get you on the right path. Because I know another person I know who's having the same issue as I was, and she went to another doctor and they gave her something else, but they kind of put her on the same regimen. It wasn't the exact same medication, but it had the same effect. So let them know what you want and the goals you're trying to achieve, and they can possibly help you with that. But I'm talking about this, buying all these gadgets and stuff like that, facial scrubbers and these little motorized things and masks and stuff like that. You can't use none of that. When you're using medication like this, you can't use any of that stuff. So you use whatever the doctor tells you, that's all you use. You don't use no extra makeup wipes and all that stuff. I don't wear makeup first of all. If you're a makeup girl, you're going to have to, if your skin is messed up, you're going to have to be uncomfortable for a little bit, because you're going to have to let your skin do what it needs to do. And when you're first going through those first few weeks of taking the new medication, especially the pills and the doxycycline and stuff like that, honey, it's called purging. When your skin is purging, you're going to look a mess. And I hate to scare you, but I want to be honest with you so you know what's coming. But look at my skin now. I looked a mess. If I can find a picture, I'm gonna put it up here so y'all can see. Because, oh, Jesus. But I'm telling you, skin purging, but it's for good because it's pushing out and pulling out all your impurities and all those bumps and all these cysts and things like that. It's coming, all that stuff is coming out. And those cysts will just go down. They won't come out of the skin, but the cysts will go down and it'll just fade away. They'll be gone. You won't feel pain. You won't do any of that stuff. So that's what will happen. It was another thing I was going to tell you guys. Un momento. I'm trying to think what it was. So, also when you're doing your regimen at first, doing your new medications. So you're going to have to stay out of the sun. Okay? Stay out of the sun. Because, let me tell you. I use these medications. And it's on here. It tells you to avoid sunlight. Like, avoid direct sunlight or prolonged use of sunlight. I went to Vegas. Baby, it looked like somebody had put Nutella on my face and let it just cook. Because it was cracked up. I was cracked. I was so sunburned. I was burned. I like the Chucky doll when they pulled them out the fireplace. Crispy. Yes. And then another thing you need to know is when you're doing this using face medication, this stuff is made to thin out your skin. So it's going to thin out your skin. You're using it all over your face. You're not using it in just a couple of spots. You're using it everywhere. So when you go to get an eyebrow wax, listen carefully. You need to let them know that you use facial medication. And remember the names that you use because they need to know. Because when they put that wax, if it's too hot, it's going to pull their whole skin off. Pull all your skin off. It happened to me one time, and I haven't had my eyebrows waxed since then. I've been tweezing. They need to be done, but whatever. But they will snatch your skin off, and they won't know. You don't tell them. You know what I'm saying? So they have to get the wax cooled down to another level for your skin because it's too thin. Like eyebrow skin is already thin around your eyes. So imagine when you use this medication and it's thinning it out even more. You put some hot wax on it and snatch it off. Yeah, it's going to be bad. So I just want to tell you guys that if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be so glad to answer them for you about anything else that I do. I'll try to go back and put pictures in of the little piece of, I think I have a little tiny piece of soap left, but it's so ugly. Ooh, I don't know if I want to show it to you. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be so glad to answer them for you. I love you guys. You are loved. Whatever you do, be good at it. I'll see you next time. Bye.